Mother Hilda. A widow had 2 daughters. One was beautiful and hardworking, the other ugly and lazy. The ugly, lazy daughter was her real daughter, and so the widow loved her much more. The other daughter had to do all the work. She was the Cinderella of the house. The poor girl had to sit next to an old well every day and spin so much that the blood started running from her fingers. Now, it happened one day that the spindle was covered in blood and the girl stooped to the well to wash off the blood. But the spindle slipped out of her hand and fell down the well. She cried, ran to her stepmother, and told her of the mishap. But the widow told her off and was so merciless that she said, "If you drop the spindle, bring it back up again." So the girl went back to the well, but she didn't know what to do, and in her anguish, she jumped into the well to fetch the spindle. She lost consciousness, and when she woke up and came to, she was in a beautiful meadow where the sun was shining and many thousands of flowers grew. She walked through this meadow and came to an oven which was full of bread. The bread shouted,
"Oh, pull me out! Pull me out, or I'll burn! I'm fully baked!"
The girl stepped forward and pulled out all the loaves one by one with a bread slide. Then she carried on and came to a tree. The tree was full of apples and shouted at her,
"Oh, please, shake me, shake me! We apples are all ripe."
The girl shook the tree and the apples fell down like rain, and she continued to shake until no apple was left on the tree. And when she had gathered them all in a heap, she continued on her way. Finally, she came to a little house. An old woman was looking out of the window. She had very big teeth. The girl was frightened and wanted to run away, but the old woman shouted,
"Why are you afraid, my dear child? Stay here with me. If you'll do all the work in my house properly, you'll be well looked after. You just have to make my bed very well and shake it out properly so the feathers fly, because then it will snow in the world. I'm Mother Hilda."
Because the old woman had spoken so nicely to her, the girl no longer felt afraid. She agreed and went into service with her. She did everything to Mother Hilda's satisfaction and did her job well. The girl always shook the bed so thoroughly that the feathers flew around like snowflakes, and people were happy because it was snowing. She worked hard, and she had a good life with Mother Hilda, who never said a bad word to her and gave her boiled or fried food every day. The girl had been with Mother Hilda for a while when she became sad. At first, she didn't know what she was missing, but finally, she realized that she was homesick. Although she was 1,000 times better off here than at home, where she always had to do all the work, and her stepmother and sister were nasty to her, she still longed to be back home. Eventually, the girl said to Mother Hilda, "I want to go back home, and although I'm ever so well looked after down here, I cannot stay. I simply have to go back up to my own family." Mother Hilda said,
"I like that you want to return home, and because you have served me so faithfully,
I will take you up there myself. She took the diligent girl by the hand and led her to a large gate that the girl had not noticed before. The gate opened, and as the girl stood just below, a huge shower of gold fell down, and all the gold stuck to her, so that she was covered with gold.
You shall have all this because you worked so hard,
said Mother Hulda. And she also gave up the spindle that had fallen into the well. Then the gate closed again, and the girl was back in the upper world, not far from her mother's house. And when she walked to the courtyard, the rooster sat on the well, shouting,
"Cock-a-doodle-doo! Our golden girl has come home too!"
The girl went inside to her mother, and because she was covered with gold, she was well received by her and the sister. The girl told her everything that had happened to her, and when the mother heard how she had come to such great wealth, she wanted her other daughter to enjoy the same good fortune. So the lazy girl sat down by the well to spin, and she stabbed her finger to make her spindle go bloody. Then she threw the spindle into the well and jumped in herself. Like the other girl, she came to the oven, and the bride asked her to pull it out, but the idle girl did not want to get dirty and just walk away. Soon she came to the apple tree, and it asked her to shake the apple down. But the lazy girl went on without doing anything. When she came to Mother Hulda's house, she immediately offered to work for the woman. On the first day, she worked hard because she was thinking of all the gold. On the second day, she began to laze around. And on the third day, she did not even want to get up in the morning. Nor did she make Mother Hulda's bed like she had been told to. And so, Mother Hulda ended her contract. The lazy girl thought that now she would get all the gold. Mother Hulda led her to the same gate, but when the girl stood underneath, instead of gold, a large cauldron of pitch came pouring down on her.
"That's the reward for your service,"
said Mother Hulda, closing the gate. The lazy girl went home, and when he saw her, the cock called,
"Cock-a-doodle-doo! Our dirty girl has come back home too!"
The pitch stuck to her, and for as long as she lived, she could not get it off.